Alright guys, so welcome to Western Wild YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Happy Thanksgiving. And those of you like me who are hunting the late season, good luck. This is my dog Trigger, excuse him. Alright, so basically what I want to do is I've unpacked my late season gear, and I just want to go over what I bring with me. Keep in mind this is going to be late season archery in Washington State, so we do have a little bit of snow, but not a whole lot. It is very cold. It's been a little bit wet. But also keep in mind that this is going to be day hunt, so I'm not actually camping out. This is going to be a late season day hunt gear list. So we'll start with weapons. So what I've been shooting this year is the Hoyt Power Max. I just picked this up this year. This is the fuse package. So all the the sight, the stabilizer, and everything is the fuse package. It was really affordable, and so far I love it, man. For a $700 bow, actually it was $700 setup. I did get a military discount, but even if you didn't have that, you're looking at probably $800 to $900 fully set up with the Power Max and the fuse setup. So it's been great, man. It's a lot faster than my previous bow. Even for kind of being an affordable package with this really small stabilizer and this kind of base model sight, it's been great. So I'm really excited about this. This is my first year using it. I kind of just wanted to start out with like a mid-level bow because my last bow I think was like $300, which was a PSE, and it was fine. But I wanted to kind of upgrade without breaking the bank. I didn't want to go over $1,000, and got a pretty good deal on this. So excited to shoot this. Plus, I mean, look at this. It's stone color. This is badass. I love this. So my release is right here, hooked to it. This is the True Ball Fang, and I kind of just got this started shooting it. And this is I really love it, man. For a normal like trigger caliper release, this thing is awesome. It's super sensitive. Came with two different triggers. You can get a curved one or a flat one like I have, and it shoots great. I mean, it's super sensitive, it's comfortable, it's got nylon instead of a big like metal rod, so it kind of forms better and tucks up into a sleeve really well. So I like it, yeah. The only thing that's not fused on this bow is going to be my rest, which is the QAD Ultra Rest Hunter version. Really good rest, man, I like it a lot. So the arrows that I'm shooting this year are going to be the Easton Axis. These are 5mm 300s, and then I do have the Blazer Vanes, and then I'm shooting. Funny story. So I'm shooting now that we're in the late season. I'm shooting these kudu points. Okay, these shoot amazing. These are almost identical to the field points that I've always been shooting. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't really want to kind of throw any company under the bus, but this year I was really excited about the Havalon broadheads. They're the 3-blade broadheads with exchangeable blades. They came with a bunch of extra ones, and there's a lot of hype about them. And I will say they're very sharp, very easy to maintain and change blades. But a couple of complaints I had about them. Again, I'm not trying to throw this company under the bus or anything, but I had to, even just shooting into a broadhead target, I broke 2 blades right off the bat. Broke 2 of them, had to replace them. I mean, they do send you replacement blades, so it was nice. It wasn't a huge deal, but I don't think you should be breaking blades into a broadhead target. And it wasn't me shooting a broadhead into another broadhead that was breaking it. It was literally shooting an arrow into the target, and then I pull it out, and that broadhead was broken, and you couldn't get the blade out. Or the blade was literally broken off inside the target. So it's not that it came loose and came out, it literally broke. So there's that. So anyway, that's complaint number 1. Complaint number 2 is that they shot completely different from my field points. So I had to do a lot of preseason adjustment just to get my broadheads to shoot how I wanted them to, which I really hate. The reason I went with fixed blade is because I like to hunt Idaho too. I didn't actually this year, but I will be hunting Idaho, and it's fixed blade only there. A lot of my friends here in Washington shoot like Oh, the range hypodermics, and they come with a practice tip, and more often than not those things shoot exactly like your field points, which is great. But I wanted to do fixed blade all across. I didn't want to have different broadheads for different states, just because I didn't want to switch back and forth and have to, you know, sight in my bow for different broadheads for different seasons. So I went with these, and then like I said, the Havilons just didn't shoot how I wanted them to. I had high hopes for them, and they didn't turn out to be what I wanted them. Not saying that they're a bad option. I'm just saying they didn't really work out for me. Moving on to optics, okay? So I recently got a spotting scope. I hunt in the West, so spot and stock is really the game here. I do a lot of still hunting, but I finally invested into a spotting scope, and I got the Vortex Diamond back, and this is the 80 millimeter. So I'm really excited about this, man. This kind of just changes the game, really ups my effectiveness when I'm in the field. So I'm excited about that. I did a lot of research also as far as tripods go, and came to the conclusion that these Manfrottos, however random that sounds, are actually really good tripods. And I've taken it out a couple times just to mess around with it, and these things are sweet, man. It will lock down that big ass heavy optic, no problem. And it's really light too, so I'll strap kind of to my mystery ranch bag. I'll have on one side the spotting scope, and on the other side I'll have the tripod, and it's really not bad at all. And this thing, you can adjust it really quickly on the fly here, and then you can tighten it down, and it's just great, man. Don't let anyone tell you that you shouldn't have a spotting scope, because I'm here to tell you that you should. Doesn't mean you can't hunt without one, but it will certainly help you immensely, like it has helped me. Alright, and then to go along with my spotting scope and my tripod, I had to do it, man. Everybody likes to put their stuff on Instagram or YouTube. I did buy a phone scope for my phone, so I bring that with me anytime that my spotting scope and my tripod's going out, I'm bringing it with me. So, you know, you get some bitchin' footage. So for my binoculars, I also have some Vortex Diamondback 10x42s. I love them. They're kind of like the Vortex midline binoculars, and they work great for me. I mean, I can see really far enough to where I hunted without a spotting scope for a very long time, and I did just fine. So yeah, those are great. For my rangefinder, I have the Leupold RX 1200. This is an archery style rangefinder, so it does compute for angle and all that, so it'll give you a true yardage reading every time. As far as my binocular harness goes, I started off the season with the Vortex, I think it was the Guide, and nothing against that harness, I just didn't love it. So I shopped around for something else. I ended up getting the Alaska Guide Creation harness. It's a little bit bigger than a lot of other bino harnesses, but it holds a lot of my things, man. So I'll have my binos in here, I'll put my rangefinder either in the top, or I'll put my phone in there and put my rangefinder in the front. I've got in this pocket, you know, all kinds of calls, read calls. In the side I can put something like, I've got my wind checker in here, my primary one. I do carry an extra, but I got my wind checker. In the side, you know, you can put your licenses, is a good spot for that. In the bottom I've got my licenses and maybe an extra pouch and extra calls. In the back, kind of what goes up against your chest is a mesh pocket, so like if I've had a call in my mouth for a while and it's all wet, I like to put it in there and it gets some air so it kind of dries out faster. So it's a nice spot to put your calls or anything that kind of needs to dry out a little bit. And right here, I always carry, even if it's a late season, I carry Rocky Mountain hunting calls, bugle tube, because even if they're not bugling, if the rut's not on, I like to be able to throw like a cow call, or even if it's a lost calf call, I like to be able to put some projection to it rather than just using like my hand or my mouth. All right, so now we get into emergency gear. As far as like my emergency pack, I just have like a little simple, it's a Gerber like Bear Grylls packet. Seems kind of cheesy, but it's got everything we need in there. I've got like a little solar blanket in there. I've got some waterproof matches. I've got some brass wire for kind of cutting down trees or whatever you need to do with it. I've got some cotton for starting a fire. I've got just some regular string for tying some stuff up. Some string, a whistle, all that, a rape whistle. And yeah, it comes like in a nice little compact packet, so it's Nice. I've also got like a little solar blanket. I think for the weight and the space that this takes up, this can really save your life. It holds in like 90% of your body heat. I also always have pyro putty on me. This is something that I kind of just got into. I've used this probably several times, and really you only take a pinch of it, and even in like rain or some shitty weather, this thing will start a fire no problem. So pyro putty is a product that I really believe in, and I'm not sponsored. I'm just throwing that out there. Then I always have some waterproof matches inside of another waterproof little case with a striker on it. So that's kind of nice to have. To me, anything that has to do with survival is always worth the wait. So this is something I keep on me. I also have a military background, so I come from the saying of 2 is 1, 1 is none. Well, I keep 3 lighters on me because, especially late season, a fire can save your life. And I keep 3 lighters on me at all times. So then I'll have my headlamp, of course. This has red lens and regular white lens, and hardly uses any battery power. It's actually really bright. So, and I'll bring an extra battery for this too. I always have a Leatherman on me. This one's the Leatherman Charge, and the reason I bring this with me, even though it's kind of heavy, is because I can pretty much fix anything that happens on my bow with this tool right here. So it's definitely worth the wait. I mean, you can almost do anything with this little Leatherman, so there's that. Another thing that I like to bring that isn't really essential, but I do like to have it with me, it doesn't weigh a whole lot, is this little wireless charger. Especially like for me, if I'm taking a lot of video of my hunt, I like to be able to charge my stuff in the middle of the day. So I will bring this wireless charger with me. I always have an extra release on me because that's pretty much one of the worst things that can happen to you besides your bow breaking in the woods is if you lose your release or forget it or it breaks or something like that. I always have one on me because you can try and shoot your compound bow without a release, but you're not going to do very well. So why not have like a little $30 Cabela's release on you? And then I do wear face paint, so there's that. This is like $5. Doesn't take a whole lot of weight or space, so I'll have that on me. It's got all kinds of different colors on it. For cold weather, I have a beanie that I keep on me and then some gloves. However, I will caution that I hardly ever train with gloves on when I shoot my bow, so that's something to think about. If you don't train with them on, I would never try and shoot an animal with them on because it really does make a difference. So if at all possible, like if I'm setting up to shoot an animal and I think it might happen, I'll take one glove off and just stick my hand in my pocket to keep it warm or whatever. As far as my kill kit goes, I do have these Kula Buck heavy duty extra large game bags that I bring. Another thing that's kind of interesting, this is the same knife that I've had since I was a little kid. I was probably 10 years old when I got this knife, and it's one of the ones where you can change out the blades. So I've got like a skinning blade and some other ones like that, and I've got a saw blade, like a bone saw that you can change out. However, this is pretty heavy and it takes up a lot of space, so this may be something that I will change in the future. But for now it does do this job. So now we'll get into the clothes. This is what I'm going to wear. So these are the Kuiu down, or the guide pants. These are what I wear, especially in late season. Maybe a little too hot in early season because they're kind of weather resistant and with like a fleece interior. But I find that if I wear these and then kind of like an Under Armour, like a cold weather tights under these are super warm. And if I get too hot, they actually have these zip off panels where you can kind of open it up and it's just mesh and it'll air out really well. So I actually love these pants a lot, and they got some good stretch for someone like me with a fat butt. So works out really well. And then this is kind of like my early season top that I wear all the time. This is the Kuiu Merino top. It's got a hood, it's long sleeve, it's really nice, it dries really fast, so it's really good for early season. But I do wear this against my skin, even in late season, because like I said, it dries out really fast. It's really comfortable. So then on top of that, I will wear this. This is the Kuiu Guide DCS jacket. It's kind of weatherproof. It's also super warm. I can really get away with just wearing this and the merino shirt for most of the season, except for like the coldest of times when I'm glassing or first thing in the morning. So I wear this. Like I said, it's pretty much weatherproof. Unless there's a real big downpour or something, this will do just fine. And then I'm wearing the Kuiu down jacket, which is something that I'll layer under the Guide DCS jacket. And I bought this like kind of form-fitting, maybe a little bit smaller than I'd like, because down material is supposed to keep your body heat closer to you. So you kind of want it closer to skin. So I'll actually wear this under this Guide DCS jacket to kind of keep my body weight in. So it's something I really like, and it helps. I mean, I can really survive in the shittiest of conditions with just this stuff on when I put this this down jacket on. So for boots, these are some military issued Solomon Quest 4D Vortex boots, and so far, I mean, these have been great. I mean, these are a lot cheaper than like your Crispies and stuff like that. Not to knock those companies, but these are cheaper and they're super comfortable. You can wear a lot of weight and, you know, ruck around with them, and they are really weatherproof. I won't say that they're fully waterproof after a while. They may get a little bit wet, but for like snow and maybe a little bit of wet conditions, these are great. They're super comfortable. I love them. A military issued kind of rain jacket that I'll use, and that's only if it's really downpouring, because like I said, this Guide jacket is really weatherproof and can repel a lot of water, but if it gets just piss pouring rain, I'll put this on over top of it. I mean, it just pretty much keeps everything off of you. And then I've got pretty much this same material, just in pants. Then another thing, I guess I should have talked about this with the emergency stuff, but one thing that I'm about is like anything can save my life. I'm not worried at all about bulkiness or weight. So I always carry a med kit on me. It's got my blood type and stuff like that. Maybe not so important if you're just hunting, but this is a pouch that I use in the military that I just put it on my pack now. But I've got a tourniquet, because you never know. I've seen pictures and videos of guys that maybe like run into broadheads or whatever happens where you could sever an artery out there pretty easily. So something as small as a tourniquet could save your life. So I don't give a shit how heavy it is or how much space it takes up. I'm always going to have one on me. So there's that. Got an Israeli bandage kind of for like head injuries and stuff like that. Always going to have that too. Nasopharyngeal airway, stuff like that. I'm not going to bore you with the details. If you've ever been through tactical combat casualty care or like any sort of medical course like that, you know what they're for, and you know they can save your life. So, I mean, really the risk versus reward as far as weight versus the benefit, it's totally lopsided. I mean, I'll always carry this stuff on me. I've got some quick clot and some gauze and all that in here too. Just things that could totally save your life that people don't think about a lot of the time. And I honestly think that this is, if anything, no matter how much it weighs, I'm always going to have this stuff on me. So there's the emergency gear. And then last thing is my pack. I've got the Mr. Ranch pack here, and this thing is awesome. I was issued this in the military as well. It is technically a military pack. So if you look on their website, it's going to say that it's under military. But especially for this stuff, like I said, this is for a day hunt. If I put all this in my pack, I can still at least get out 2 quarters as well as like some boned out back straps or something like that with no problem.